And welcome back. Well, a lot of diverse classes with the Saddleback Emeritus Institute, and great program that brings you just about anything you could think of. And if photography is one of them, well, we have an instructor here today that has been doing this for quite a long time, Kara Mohatka Patterson. Did I pronounce all that right?
I think
all
you
right.
did.
Nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
And how long have you been teaching for the Emeritus?
30 years this year.
Wow.
A very, very long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
And as far as, I know you teach photography. Do you do other things as well, visual arts as well?
I actually started out teaching drawing and painting,
Okay.
some craft classes, and then my role kind of evolved as there were needs in the department. So I've been in photography now for probably the last maybe 15 or 20 years.
Okay, so you started photography at a time when it was really changing.
Yes.
The methods,
Yes.
really, not still the basics, the composition are all still there, but no longer, unless someone really wants to, does someone have to go into a dark room anymore.
No, for the most part, though we do still have some dark room facilities here at Laguna Woods, but for the most part, everybody does their editing on the computer, and it's done digitally now, and all the classes we teach typically are just digital type images.
And in general, with these classes that you're teaching, do you start from, if someone's a novice, I mean, we've all taken pictures, but really want to start from the beginning, what is it that first that you teach in there? Is it composition or how to frame a photo?
Actually, it's basically 3 or 4 different components.
Okay.
We teach composition. That's something that's universal, no matter what level you're at. We
Right.
talk about the technical aspects of the camera, so aperture, shutter speeds, flash, different things like that. And then we also challenge students to get out there and actually take pictures and use their cameras and explore different things. So that's sort of when our field trips and still lifes and models come in.
Okay. When it comes to what you just talked about, f-stops and things like that, what about people who maybe they don't own a camera, but they're using their phone? Yes, there are certain different types of photography apps out there that you can get into changing that. But in general, a lot of times things are done automatically, or you use HDR technology or something like that. So how do you handle all the different types of ways of taking pictures now?
It's challenging.
Yeah.
One of the big components, we do spend at least a session or 2 on cell phone photography because it is becoming one of the more prevalent ways to actually take pictures. But then there's also the component of editing things on the computer.
Right.
Either using free programs like Picasa or using something more sophisticated like Elements or Lightroom or Photoshop.
Very good. I mean, it has changed so much. Because of that.
It keeps me on my toes. It keeps my
It
students
really
on their
has.
toes too.
And you can use your phone all the way to using a $5,000 camera. It's really up to
Absolutely
you.
right. And what's surprising is that sometimes the pictures from the cell phones are just as interesting as the ones with a $5,000 camera.
Right.
So there's nothing saying that the technology dictates the impact of your image.
Exactly. What do you like most about being with the Emeritus Institute? Obviously, you've been here with it a long time.
I think I've almost figured it out. Predominantly, I think my students keep me on the top of my game. They are constantly thirsty for new information, new technology, and so I'm constantly trying to stay a step or 2 ahead of them. And I'm really comfortable with working with seniors. This is sort of my little niche. I always tease, I say I've taught anywhere from age 5 to age 95. And this is really where I belong, and this is where I'm comfortable with. I like challenging their perceptions, not only their aesthetic perceptions, but also of how they fit into the world and what's happening with the world around them.
And speaking of that, do you have certain assignments where they go out and take pictures around?
I'm always hopeful that they do their homework,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's a little bit challenging to actually make that happen. But yes, we take field trips, we go out all kinds of places so that they're seeing the world, they're seeing how the world is changing, and they're seeing how important it is how they fit into it. So we're challenging their perceptions. We take the Metrolink into Los Angeles. We go to Watts and photograph the Watts Tower and have soul food. We go to Little Tokyo. We go down to San Diego. We pretty much cover the whole area, anywhere from San Diego all the way through Los Angeles.
Wow. So
Yes.
this is more of a, it almost seems more of a cultural class.
Well,
In many ways.
culture is part of our
Yeah.
life, so it's not only our perceptions of how we see ourselves, but how we fit into the world around us. That's what it's really about. That's how we make impact through our photography, because of it's our perception of ourselves as we fit in. So you have to challenge that perception. Sometimes seniors, as we get older, we get locked into a routine. We get locked into what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And I consider it my personal mission to challenge those perceptions just a little bit.
Well, I think in many ways, just somebody taking a class like that, and primarily what it's going to be digital photography, is changing the way they might have done that years ago. They may
Absolutely.
have never picked up a digital camera, or never thought about how to compose a picture with their phone or something like that.
Exactly. And then it leads some of them to using the computer more often, and maybe that's something that's a little bit new to them, so that's a great benefit also. And then we get out in the world and they feel safe, they feel like everything is well planned, they're with a gigantic group, and then they can get out there and see different things and how it's changing around them.
Yeah, definitely. So you've done this for about 30 years. What are some of your good memories about it?
One of the things I love, one of the things we do is take the train and the Metrolink and the subway around Los Angeles. I love it when my students come up to me and say, hey, I felt so comfortable getting my tickets and getting around. I took my grandkids into LA.
Oh,
or I
nice.
went in with some friends, we went to the theater and watched a matinee, or we went down to a museum and saw that. So that's always really rewarding.
Yeah.
In addition to, what those aha moments where somebody who's maybe a little quiet and hesitant suddenly starts getting it and bringing in these wonderful pictures and sharing their view, and then kind of expanding their social horizons. That's always wonderful too.
And I would think that for them, that the rewarding part is being able to, yes, taking the picture nowadays is much simpler than what it used to be, but standing back afterwards, and even if it's something you've done with your phone or a really nice camera, looking at that and going, wow, I was able to compose this beautiful picture here. Instead of just taking a snapshot without even thinking about it, I was able to learn how to really put a wonderful portrait together in a digital way.
Definitely. It's also their ability to share that information now.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook page, we share on social media, we work with them
Nice.
so that they can, store things in the cloud and share it with their kids and grandkids and friends, slideshows, all kinds of different things. So it's really not only in being able to look at that yourself, but to share that with family and friends and other people around them.
And it's a lot easier to share those photos now than
It
what it used to
certainly
be.
is. It
How big are
certainly-
the classes in general?
Very big. I average probably about 60 people in a class.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
how do you get them up to LA? Do you schedule a
We-
bus service?
Sometimes we
or-
schedule a bus. Lots of
Okay.
times we take the train. So everybody meets at the Irvine train station, and we take the train into Union Station. Then maybe
Wow.
we have a tour, and then we take the Metrolink, the red line, the green line, the blue line, yellow line. We've explored them all. And
Very
it's a
nice.
challenge. It's a challenge moving around with that many people, but haven't lost anybody yet. So.
Very good. The classes, are there summer classes available
Yes.
right now?
As a matter of fact, they began this week.
Okay. Is it too late for somebody to sign up for a summer class, or they have to wait till fall? I'm not sure if there's
my
openings.
classes are pretty full. I do have a little bit of room in my Wednesday afternoon class, which is a digital
Okay.
slideshow class where students put pictures together with narration, special effects, music, and they create things they post on YouTube and play on their television sets, put on Vimeo, put on their Facebook pages.
Okay, very good. And if you want, really the fall classes, you're going to probably look forward to coming up at the end of summer to sign up for those. But this just sounds like an absolutely wonderful class.
It is. I think it is. It's
gonna
not
be a
only
lot
what
of
we
fun.
offer them, but how they interact with each other. They help each other and learn from each other, which is tremendous.
Very nice. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
can
you.
see your passion, not only as an instructor, but for the Emeritus program as well.
Yes, I wouldn't be here for as long as I am if I
know.
didn't believe in it.
Very good. Good to meet you again.
Thank you.
And again, you know, you want to sign up for these classes. Just the easiest way, instead of giving a specific, I know we put up the website, but if you just go online and put Saddleback College Emeritus, it'll get you to where you need to go. That's all you really have to know. And we'll remind you of when the fall classes, the sign-ups come up for that. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Very good.